Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm Shelly Palmer, and this is Crypto Wednesday. It is absolutely gorgeous here in New York today, and I'm looking everywhere. I see a whole bunch of people here on YouTube Live. Welcome, everybody on YouTube, and welcome, everybody at LinkedIn. So happy to see you here, and very excited to see everybody on Facebook. This is fantastic. Hope everybody's feeling great today. So much is going on in the world of cryptocurrency, DeFi, NFTs, smart contracts, you name it, it's happening. Craziness actually is going on. If you are on YouTube Live, please, chat is where it's at. We're monitoring chats on YouTube Live. We're monitoring the chat on Facebook Live. We're monitoring the chat on LinkedIn Live. And of course, all my friends on Zoom, welcome. We're very happy you're here. Please submit your questions because that is the most fun part. Also, while you are talking amongst yourselves, please say where you are. And of course, tell us a little bit about what you do so that everybody can interact with everybody else. Wow, let's just jump right in. There is so much to talk about. Probably the biggest thing that's happened so far is that China has finally really banned cryptocurrency. They're serious this time. They've told us that, it's done. You've got all kinds of things that have happened. The markets didn't move that much from a crypto perspective. There was a little bit of it was like a morning, Michael Port. There was a little bit of a drop in the currency. It kind of bounced right back, and then it sort of went up and down a little bit more or less. The only crypto they didn't ban in China, literally the only crypto they didn't ban in China, ECNYs, the digital yuan, those are still completely okay to have. So the miners are gone. We had Spark Pool, the largest of the mining pools. I'm sorry, actually, I think Spark Pool is the second largest mining pool in China. I think Ethermine is the largest mining pool in China. Spark Pool will close tomorrow. We're gonna, thank goodness you've got your mining money out of Spark Pool, because as of tomorrow they're going to be gone and they're not going to be replaced. Ethermine is still the biggest of all of the mining pools for Ethereum, but Spark Pool's gone. Let's see. They were responsible for, I'm looking here, 122.5 terahashes per second. That's roughly 18.5% of all of the Ethereum mining computer power. That's according to Pool Watch. So they're just going to close. I don't know if this is going to have a big impact on gas fees. I was just looking. Yeah, gas fees, I wrote this down, in the 60 to 70 Gwei area. Gwei is the smallest amount of ETH that you can charge. Usually, we've seen gas fees go from, call it 30 to 80 Gwei over the last couple of weeks, and that's sort of where it is right now. It's going to be in that range. It's a big range, but you figure it's going to run you roughly $10, to do a trade on Ethereum right now in USD. So yeah, I'm just looking down at this. It is what it is. So let's talk a little bit today about regulation and what's actually going on, and is it really going to matter? BL Oakman, welcome. I'm glad you're here from New York. Look, everybody, just weigh in and chat. We're completely and totally happy to take your questions. This is an Ask Me Anything kind of day, so I'm excited to take your questions. And of course, I'm excited to have you all talk amongst yourselves, so please do that. Oh, wow. See a bunch of comments on Facebook. That's unusual. So welcome, Facebook friends, and welcome to everyone on LinkedIn. So happy you're here today. Fantastic. Outstanding. All right. So let's get started. What's going on in regulation? So, rules and regs, when it comes to crypto, rules and regs are a big point of contention. You had the IRS weigh in a few weeks ago, and they really haven't determined whether cryptocurrency writ large is an asset class that's capital gains taxable, or if it's going to be treated like a currency. It's hard, literally very hard, to understand how to deal with all of this, since we don't actually know how the SEC is going to deal with it, or the IRS. We just don't know. And without knowing how they're going to deal with it, it's really hard to make any plans whatsoever. So you had Gary Gensler earlier this week actually, I think it was last week, in front of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. They brought them in front of the House, and they basically grilled him. The Senate and the House grilled him, and they asked him, what is a security? How is cryptocurrency a security, and how are you guys thinking about it? Now, I want you to just understand that I am not giving any financial advice whatsoever today. That is not my plan. Under any circumstances, I am not a licensed financial planner. I am not a tax planner. I'm not an accountant. So crypto is inherently risky, very risky. And if you're going to make crypto investments, you should seek out the advice of a licensed financial planner. This is a show that is for your enjoyment and entertainment. And these are my opinions. They're the opinions of a normal person. And I'm not suggesting you invest in crypto. So when Gary Gensler, who's the head of the SEC, went up in front of the United States Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, I think it was late last week, he was asked flat out, how do you think about cryptocurrency? Now, understand that the SEC does not consider Bitcoin, BTC, or Ether, ETH. He doesn't consider either of those to be securities. There are thousands of other cryptocurrencies. Generally, for something to be considered a security, it has to pass what's known as the Howey test. Now, it's a pretty straightforward test. The first criteria is, is there an investment of money? And I think every cryptocurrency requires you to invest some fiat currency. Some money is going to go towards your crypto. So, yeah, it passes that part of the Howey test. And then, is the investment in a common enterprise? Well, if you're buying Bitcoin, or you're buying ETH, or you're buying ADA, or you're buying Matic, that's, yeah, I'd say that pretty much. That's a common enterprise. Is there an expectation of profits? Yes, I think people who invest in that kind of thing, or expect you're buying Bitcoin low, you hope to sell high or whatever. But now the question is there an expectation of profits created by a third party? Here, this breaks down because there are so many different dApps, digital applications or decentralized applications. There are so many people involved with cryptocurrency that have nothing whatsoever to do with each other. I think the Howey test fails there. I think most people think the Howey test fails there. So when asked specifically, Gary Gensler said, well, we've got 35 different criteria by which we measure whether something is or is not a security. And the reason this is important is that if cryptocurrencies are considered securities, then they're going to be regulated by the SEC, the way that stocks and bonds and ETFs and hedge funds and everything else is. But if it isn't, then it isn't. Maybe it comes under the jurisdiction of Treasury. Janet Yellen's supposed to weigh in about stablecoins towards the end of the year. She promised by December she would have an opinion about United States stablecoins. So we don't know. The jury's out. We don't really understand whether crypto will be considered a security or not. We know that in the new infrastructure bill, NFTs are called out specifically to be subject to capital gains tax. So though the IRS doesn't have that written in stone, the new bill, the infrastructure bill has that in there. So I'm kind of wondering. So that's where we are at the moment. Michael Port is asking for a friend. Let's see what Michael Port is asking for a friend. Here's the question. Asking for a friend. What's the best digital currency exchange to turn on your ETH or Bitcoin into, to turn your ETH or Bitcoin into USD? What's the best exchange? All right. First and foremost, again, not financial advice. The most expensive place you can do it is probably Coinbase, because the rates at Coinbase are crazy. They are regulated in the United States. They have a KYC, know your customers, so you can go there and within the rules and regs of the United States, you can convert your ETH or your Bitcoin to fiat currency at whatever the rate is, plus whatever the gas fees are. If you trade on Binance, US or FTX US, the rates will be similar. The only way to get a fair price and to get the lowest possible fees, well, first you have to, for Ethereum, you have to wait till the gas fees and give an Ether a little lower, so you can kind of go to the Ethereum Explorer, and you can go just type in Ethereum and gas fees, and there's a gas fee explorer you can get to, and it kind of, there's like a bunch of different gas fee trackers. You want to just do your exchange when the gas fees are lowest. If you have $100 worth of ETH, you don't want to pay $10 or $15 to transfer it to fiat currency. You don't. It doesn't make any sense. If you buy an NFT that's $12 and it costs you $50 in gas fees, that doesn't make any sense either. So, got to be a little conscious of the gas fees. People who are outside the letter of the law in the United States, and I'm saying this because, again, it's not financial advice. I'm just reporting the news. I'm not suggesting anyone do this, please. FTX, the real FTX, which is now based in the Bahamas, used to be based in Hong Kong, but since China outlawed or criminalized or whatever they've done to make crypto illegal and ban crypto, they moved to the Bahamas last weekend. That's where you're going to find the least expensive rates to do everything. The problem is that as a U.S. citizen, you can't trade on real FTX. You can only trade on FTX US, which does not have anywhere near the number of trading pairs and the financial instruments available to you that FTX does, the one that's Bahama-based. People are using VPNs, virtual private networks, and they're tunneling in to wherever they're tunneling into, and then they're doing their trades at FTX, the real FTX. I'm not suggesting you do that. But if you're asking me where the best place is, that's probably one of the best. Is it the right place to do it? Not if you're a U.S. citizen. That's not a cool thing to do under any circumstances. And you'll get yelled at for doing it and possibly go to jail. So I'm not suggesting that you do that. But that is stuff that people are doing. Little Birdie told me. All right, this one I have to look a little careful at because it's a lot of words. Shelly, any word on where the Chinese miners are going? Do they have another country which will let them in with their machines? How does the host country know if the software is secure? Well, okay. There's a loaded question, Stephen S. So let's break that down into the two parts. First of all, they're coming to the United States. They're going to Canada. They're going to Russia. That's first off. Texas is welcoming them with open arms. We have a bunch of states in the United States that are totally happy to have them. Contrary to popular belief and understanding, most of the miners are looking for the cheapest power possible. Renewable energy, hydroelectric, wind, if you are where that's happening, thermal, geothermal, you actually can make some real money in the margin, because if you're not paying 25 cents a kilowatt hour like you would in a major metro, things are very good for you as a miner. You can get down to 5-6 cents a kilowatt hour or lower, and that's what they can do. So renewable energy is very good for them, and it's very good for the environment. It's also important to know that all power grids in the United States and everywhere else in the world need to have their loads balanced and consistent. Now, I don't want to go too super deep technical into how electrical grids work, but if you're interested, it wouldn't be a bad thing for any of you to go and Google how a power grid actually functions and what load on a power grid looks like. And when you can have predictable load, remember, electricity, for those of you who don't understand electricity, you may think it's stored in batteries. Not real electricity that you use in the wall. That comes over high tension wires and it's alternating current. It's stored nowhere. If you don't use it, it's gone. They can't sell it. You can't store it. There are large capacitors, there are some batteries, but you don't. It's not like, oh, I got some extra electricity, I'll use it in the morning. That's not how that works. So the fact that these giant mining pools are putting a constant load on the grid is actually a pretty good thing. And you learn about that by Googling it and reading about how power grids function worldwide, any power grid. You might also want to understand how the power grid in Texas, which is privately run and not really hooked into the rest of the country, got a little messed up in the wintertime. They had some serious infrastructure problems that really were more about lack of maintenance and infrastructure modernization than anything else. So what you're going to see is Bitcoin miners go to Russia, they're going to go to Canada, they're going to come to the United States. Now, as for the security of the software, mining software is inherently secure. Miners are inherently secure because they really want to secure their rewards. If you're mining for ETH or you're mining for Bitcoin, the last thing you want to do is have someone come on in and take your hard-earned mined reward. So what's not secure is there's plenty of scam software out there, a ton of it. For example, Ethermine, which is the largest of the Ethereum mining pools, and I've got a couple different things going at Ethermine right now. Let's see if I can call that up for you. I don't know what my dashboard looks like right now. I think I have, I got 2 workers going. So here's my 2 workers going. This is Ethermine. You can see I've got 2 workers over here. Oh, you can't see the workers. Hold on. I've got 2 workers going. Let me put this up full screen for you. I got 2 workers going. Let's look at what I could make or what I'm making with these 2 workers in US dollars. So about $7 a day. My unpaid balance of $221.18. I'm doing about 109.8 mega hashes a second. My average is 122 mega hashes a second. And that's what my average hash rate graph looks like. This is what my shared worker graph looks like. And I got 2 rigs. I got one here in New York, and I got one up in my house in Connecticut running just, for expand, just so I can say I'm doing it. So this is the largest mining pool. And this software is inherently secure because this money is going to get to this wallet. This is the wallet that I take my mining money into. You're welcome to send some ETH there if you'd like. But what I want to show you is how you would... Let's see if we... Nope, that's not what I want to do. Hold on. I'm back. If I want to mine, where's my get started? Oh, here we go, start mining. Sorry, I just haven't done it in a long time. So here are the various big Ethermine servers up here, and these are the port settings, and this is how you set your software up. If you come here, they will tell you, do you want to use Gminer or Team Red Miner or B Miner or LOL Miner? But here, down at the bottom, Phoenix Miner. This one's interesting because if you go to Phoenix Miner directly from here, this is literally where you will download it. It doesn't look very friendly. It doesn't look very safe. And for all intents and purposes, it ain't that safe. That you can definitely download from there. I'm not saying you can't. I got directly from the Ethermine pool. There are dozens of scam Phoenix Miner sites. Dozens. In fact, I actually, when I wrote my first How to Mine Ethereum blog post, I actually put accidentally a link to one of the scam Phoenix Mine downloads. Straight oversight, and I wasn't paying attention when I did it. Typed it into Google rather than going to ethermine.org. I typed it into Google and just put the link in, and one of the readers immediately said to me, hey, you have a scam link in there. And I looked at it, oh, wow, I do. I'm really sorry. So I made that mistake. I corrected it inside of an hour, but it was still a mistake that it was easy to make. So that's where these security flaws happen, because you can download mining software that literally has malware in it, and all kinds of bad things happen. So you've got to be, if you're going to mine, you've got to be very careful where you're getting your software from. If you're going to join a mining pool, you have to make sure you're getting legitimate mining software from the legitimate mining pool, because otherwise, no, you're in serious trouble. Are there scam pools? Yeah, so go with the big ones. The only way to mine Ethereum, and it's only going to last for another couple of months till Ethereum 2.0 goes online, because then they're going to go from proof of work, which is what Ethermine is doing, proof of work, to proof of stake, and the whole mining thing is going to be done at that point. There won't be any more. There won't be any more of that. It'll just be validators, and you'll have to stake. I think the minimum is 32 ETH, so 65, 70,000 bucks, maybe more then, maybe a little bit less. And then you'll work in a proof of stake environment. So it's no longer going to be mining profits won't exist there. Bitcoin is always going to be proof of work. That's what they have set up right now. There are plenty of proof of work currencies out there. Ethermine, I think, has a couple of others. Again, I don't do, yeah. So if you look at what Ethermine is doing, here, we'll go back there for a second. You can see at the top, ETH and ZEC and ETC and Beam, and I mean, they got a bunch of tokens now that they're going to work on. You know, do I really want to get into other stuff? I don't know. But these are the really big, you know, I mean, they're mining Ergo now. Do I want to mine Ergo? I don't know. Do you want to mine Ergo? Does anybody want to mine Ergo? I don't know. But ERG tokens are right there, and you can get them. So if you want to mine Ergo, you go for it. I don't know if that's something you'd want to do. They're all going to have to figure out something else. They're just going to have to figure out something else. So the software is intrinsically safe if you get it from the mining pool and you know from whence you download. If you get it from somewhere else, nothing good is going to happen to you. BL Oakman, what about FATCA if you trade outside the U.S.? Oh, FATCA, sorry, can't read. What about FATCA? So, look, I'm going to say this one time and one time only. I want to be really clear. If you live in the United States, and even if you want to trade at ftx.us or binance.us, it's not available in every state because they haven't done regulatory in every state. You live in the United States. Again, not financial advice, common sense. Follow the law. Coinbase is fully regulated. Go there, do your work there. And here's the pro tip. The better rates can be found at pro.coinbase.com. Why these are separate, I don't know. It's the same login, but they're two different things, Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. Pro.coinbase.com, if you trade at a volume, your rates go down, and although the rates are still twice what they are at Binance and 5 times what they are at the real FTX, they're about as low as you can trade in the United States. It's a centralized exchange. Coinbase is publicly traded, but most importantly, they comply with KYC, know your customer. It's 100% legal, and we are all Boy Scouts here, and we like to follow the law. And I'm under no circumstances suggesting that anyone do anything other than that. But you have to understand that crypto is the wild, wild west, and America is doing its best to regulate, and it's doing its best to understand what's happening. Technology, as always, is really far ahead of regulatory and even strategy, to be fair. I don't think many companies understand what their crypto strategy ought to be. Should they accept crypto? Shouldn't they? Should they hedge? Should they dabble? Should they get into NFTs? Should they, I don't think a lot of people have a good set of strategies yet. I think everybody's learning. The United States government has a lot of incentive to learn because there's over $2 trillion parked in crypto, and it's growing every day. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. Now let's see, we got another question here, and this one I'm going to have to look at a little closely too because it's tiny type, so I need to just look at this with bigger type. With the large fluctuations from Manfred A, with the large fluctuations in the value of crypto, what is needed to where they're more stable and can be used for trading goods like fiat currencies? That's a great question. So I want to really go deep into that for a second. That question is so good, and I get it all the time, and I think it's important to talk about. El Salvador has taken cryptocurrency now as a fiat currency or as a coin of the realm. It's insane on the face, and then it's brilliant. Why is it insane? It's insane because 3 weeks ago, Bitcoin was tickling $50,000. And this morning it's at, well, I'm going to look it up on Coinbase, but it's on my coin tracker here. Let me just quickly look. What are we looking at? It's 41,460 right now, and ETH is 2843. So it's $41,000 it's down 20% from a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So imagine you bought this at 50 grand, and that's what you have, a $50,000 Bitcoin. And you need to pay your taxes with it, and this morning it's worth $40,000, $41,000. Well, you still owe $50,000 worth of taxes. What do? Your same Bitcoin that was worth 50 grand 2 weeks ago is worth $41,000 this morning. You're 9 grand short. How do you deal with that? That's why it's insane that El Salvador is accepting that as currency. Why is it brilliant? Well, it's brilliant because it's a validation of a method of doing business, and it is an admission that borders and exchange rates and central banks may not have a role to play in the future the way they play it now. They'll have a role, but maybe not the same role. So if you look at the various foundations and you look at the tokenomics, you get deep insights into how the various organizations are thinking about the future. Go read about Cardano, Charles Hoskinson and the Cardano Foundation. Go read about Cosmos, the Terra Foundation. Go read about Matic and Polygon. Go read about Polkadot and see how they have done their initial coin offerings. Some organizations have issued all their coins that will ever be issued at once. Others will mine. Others will use different methodologies, proof of authority, proof of stake, to validate and mint. All different ways to do this. Bitcoin is the most popular by name, and it's the oldest by definition, but it's an old technology. It's certainly not representative of where the world of decentralized finance is now and what's happening in the world of cryptocurrency. So there are more than one kind of coin, and I think it's super important to go over this. When you think of crypto, if you think of Bitcoin, you're doing yourself a disservice. There are stable coins, which are pegged to fiat currencies. There are value coins, coins that are stores of value. There are privacy coins like Monero. There are utility coins like Matic and Dot and Polygon that are based on greasing the wheels and rewarding the community inside that are doing the work. When you think about stable coins, every central bank worldwide is experimenting with this idea of what's known as a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. These currencies will be as stable as the fiat currency they represent. And while we don't have an official stable coin in the United States, Circle is USDC. That's supposed to be backed dollar for dollar. The Winklevoss brothers have GUSD, which is Gemini US dollars. You've got Paxos with USDP. You've got TrueUSD at TUSD. What else? There's Tether, USDT. It's also supposed to be pegged to the US dollar. And of course, Binance, the Chinese company, BUSD, has a coin that's pegged to the US dollar. These are technically stable coins, meaning that for every cryptocurrency coin, for every BUSD that Binance has, there's supposed to be a US dollar somewhere that's sitting behind it. Is that true? I don't know. I have no way to check. Do people have a way to check if Tether, USDTs, if there's a dollar behind every Tether? I don't know. They say there is. The prices of these coins are within $1, $1, $2, 98 cents, $1, $2, 99 cents all day long. If you go on Coinbase or if you go on Kraken or FTX or Binance or any one of a million other exchanges and you see a US stable coin, whether it's GUSD or it doesn't matter what it is. It's always going to be plus or minus a penny around $1, always. And generally, they don't charge massive trading fees, and they don't tend to charge. There's no exchange rate for this stuff. You can wire $1 in and get $1 of a USD stable coin. So those, I don't know why you'd need cryptocurrency in that denomination, like why you would need it. China has the ECNY, a digital yuan. Now, they've outlawed every other kind of cryptocurrency in China. So here they're going to control their population, literally control their population. If you are in my wallet, think about it. That's not a decentralized currency. That's centralized to the government of China. That's their blockchain. So they've got their currency on their blockchain, and they know who you are, and they know how much money you have, and they have complete control of your wallet. That's like an Orwellian rabbit hole I'd never want to go down. That scares the hell out of me. I don't even know what that is. 1984, the book, was a joke compared to what I just said. But when you think about El Salvador, or when you think about what's going on in Brazil, for example, where it's not what you think. It's not the super rich who are dabbling in crypto and investing and speculating and trying to find liquidity pools and yield farms. It's none of that. These are ordinary people, the proletariat or the peasantry, just the salt of the earth, where the government currency is not serving their purpose. And so I won't want to say resorted to cryptocurrency. They've looked to cryptocurrency to solve their problem. They need to exchange value, and this is the way they're doing it. And if you listen to Charles Hoskinson, who started Cardano, and he was one of the co-founders of Ethereum, and he's a very colorful and controversial figure. So he's not someone who everybody loves, and I'm not going to say that you should love him or not, but you should listen. He's got 1 million YouTube videos, and he's talked about, for example, how the unbanked in Ethiopia are going to benefit from ADA, the cryptocurrency of Cardano, and how this will help people who don't have banks and don't have a way to do banking exchange value in an equitable and fair way without a middle person or middleman. There is every part of this spectrum, from trying to just do good for mankind to just speculating and trying to hustle. And Manfred, what I have to say, and again, not financial advice, common sense, people who have gone to jail for securities fraud and gotten out, people who have lost their licenses after they have gone to jail for securities fraud and gotten out and are no longer allowed to deal in securities in the United States, are unregulated, unrestricted, and set free in the world of decentralized finance. So for every new financial genius, there is a criminal out there looking for your dollars. This is not a place for the faint of heart or the weak-minded, and this is not a place to believe anything. Don't believe anything. Test, verify. You always send a small amount of crypto before you send a large amount of crypto. You always test the wallet. You always make sure that your wallets are secure, and you get your currency offline as quickly as possible. Cryptocurrency, as it lives today, isn't the interesting part of DeFi. The interesting part is the democratization of financial services. I've said this 100 times. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. You need to hear it. You need to understand it. I got my Apple II Plus, and it changed the world for me. I no longer had to go to school with punch cards to run a program or computer tape or magnetic tape. I didn't have to log into something that was a central terminal from to a central computer from a remote terminal. I could do computing on my desk. The spreadsheet, the word processing, the databasing, and I'll date myself, VisiCalc, DB Master, and I forget the name of the word processor actually. But I had a word processor, I had a 140K 5-inch floppy disk drive, and a Motorola 6500 or a 6502, I think, was in the Apple II Plus that I got. I'm sitting in front of an IBM PC with an AMD 5900 series and 3090 graphics card that's capable of doing all the things we're doing right now. But you know what else it does? Spreadsheets with Excel, word processing with Word, and databasing with any database you can name, Mongo, whatever, Postgres, SQL, MySQL. Same thing. Does it faster, does it better, does exactly the same thing. But everything we're doing right now, the streaming we're doing right now, the music that you can listen to, your entire world was made possible by the democratization of information technology. Imagine DeFi and crypto as the on-ramp, your on-ramp to decentralizing and democratizing finance. So the more creative you are, the more brilliant you are, the more inventive you are, the more innovative you are. If you can think something up that's never existed before, and it would benefit by having a new financial model that no one has ever been able to do because JP Morgan Chase stood in your way, or the IRS stood in your way, or the Securities and Exchange Commission stood in your way, or all of that stood in your way, or you couldn't capitalize, or you couldn't have liquidity, or you couldn't get enough yield. But now you come up with a way to create value and exchange value that could not be done before because of these tools. That's where this is going, in my humble opinion. I don't think this is about speculating in crypto in September of 2020. I really don't. 2021. I just don't. WordPerfect. I don't think WordPerfect WordPerfect wasn't an Apple II Plus program. That was an early IBM PC program. WordPerfect came out of Utah, and I cannot. Oh, Apple Pie was the word processor. Of course it was. Oh, because it's Apple Pie, DB Master, and VisiCalc. Those are the three main programs that I used. And everything was from Beagle Brothers, all the utilities. Okay, now I've really dated myself. Apple II Plus people unite. Hooray. If you had an Apple II Plus, tell me in chat. I want to know I'm not alone. I really want to know I'm not alone. While we're on the subject of things I don't want to be alone about, I have written about all of this, literally written about all of it in a book called Blockchain, Cryptocurrency, NFTs, Smart Contracts, an executive guide to decentralized finance. And it is available on Amazon. It is available in print, meaning you can actually get a paperback version, and you can get an ebook. I updated this 2 weekends ago. There's a second edition, so it's legit now. It's about 110 pages of paperback. Got some updated writings. I tried to update the glossary and keep everything as updated as I could possibly do. So hopefully that would be helpful for you to, I'm donating the proceeds, my part of the proceeds, to Girls Who Code, because I think that's an important organization. As always, if there's anything that I've talked about today that interests you, or you just want to reach out and chit chat, Shelly at shellypalmer.com is my actual personal email address. And you are 100% welcome to send me an email about anything that's interesting to you. And if I, hopefully I'll be able to help you. If you are looking for interesting information about cryptocurrency, blockchain, NFTs, DeFi in any way, we have a blockchain resource page, and it has access to our database where we're just listing all the things we're looking at, the various startups, different currencies, different utility programs. That's all there. There's a page that has a bunch of resources if you want to start coding or start experimenting with mining or understand NFTs or go get a wallet, whether it's a software wallet or a hardware wallet. We've got some links there. I don't think there are any affiliate links there. We're not making any money. This is just basically informational for you, but we've aggregated the things we think are interesting. There's a link to the book. There's a link to a bunch of blog posts and whatever videos that we have on the subject. We're constantly updating it. It's a nice place to start. It'll point you to a whole bunch of other interesting places where you can learn about, what you need to know. Literally what you need to know. You can't learn enough about this. It's not possible. It changes every minute of every day. I feel like if I haven't read 50 Chrome tabs by noon, I'm behind it. Every day someone calls me up and says something I've never heard of, or tells me a new company I've never heard of, or tells me a new acronym or initialism I've never heard of. It's nuts. You go to shellypalmer.com, and generally I'm writing about this kind of stuff every day. So that's, sort of where we are. If you have additional questions or you want to just chit chat now, you can put some stuff in chat. I see, Tom Herman, thank you. Apple IIc. Yeah, I remember that. My Apple II Plus was one of my favorite computers that I ever had. I got my first IBM PC. Was it an 82 or 84? Something like that. And I was pretty smitten with the IBM PC. Then I fell out of love as soon as I saw the Macintosh. I guess that would have been in 84. And then in 86, I got real excited about it again. But the whole time, I was working on a DEC mini computer, because I was working building the first digital audio workstations. And we were working with a company called New England Digital. And the language was a version of PL1, which was DEC's language for the DEC computers, and it was called XPL. And it was a programming language that was specifically tweaked to allow us to do the kind of fast Fourier transforms we needed to do sample to memory and sample to disk, and really make the digital audio workstations you know and love today. Now this stuff comes free with your iPhone. Sampling is child's play. Back in the day, sample to disk, sample to memory, this was hard to do. Getting sampling to work was really tough. Thank you to Bell Labs. Thank you to Yamaha and AT&T for incredible patents that we were able to license back in the day. But yeah, it was those are the days. Tom Herman asks, can you put staked ETH in a hardware wallet? You stake ETH in a wallet for sure. It is unclear how you will stake ETH in the fully done 2.0 protocol. That's subject to change. But ADA gets staked in an ADA wallet in a Cardano wallet or an ADA wallet, they have their own, I think they call it a dataless wallet. So if you want to understand the way that Cardano stakes, which I think is what Ethereum is going to look like. Ethereum staking is going to look like that. And what you do is you can either, and this is I think kind of important, you can either put your money into your cryptocurrency into a staking wallet, or what's behind door number 2, you can join a staking pool. The staking pools, what they do is they want to, the way a lot of the proof of stake blockchains work is the larger the stake you have, the more likely you are to win the ability to be a validator node and therefore get rewards in the proof of stake methodology. So if you pool together a lot of people's stakes, a staking pool, then like a mining pool, then you can go and that validator node is more likely to be successful. Cardano has a couple of thousand staking pools, and they do it by lottery. And honestly, the ones that are the most successful staking pools, or the ones that are the most subscribed, sometimes aren't the ones that are going to yield the best results. So if you want to really understand proof of stake as it sits right now, I would urge you to go understand the dataless wallet at Cardano and understand the staking pools at Cardano. It's an easy download. Cardano is relatively cheap. It's what is ADA? See what ADA is trading at right now. $2.05. Buy yourself $100 worth of ADA. Throw it in some staking wallets, or throw it in a wallet, or throw it in a pool and see how you do. They've got a really interesting thing. It takes a couple of weeks for everything to, they want you to really have left your money, your crypto there for a little while. It's an interesting protocol. And by the way, Coinbase, if you leave your stuff in the Coinbase wallet, Coinbase has some staking as well. So yeah. Tom Herman asks, so if it's safe in Trezor, which is the hardware wallet, I remove it first to put it in a staking wallet. So is it less safe if it's not in the hardware wallet? Once you're in a staking pool, we don't know. No one knows anything about staking pool security right now. And I think that it's a great question. I don't have an answer. I don't think anyone does. This just hasn't been tested yet in the wild. And so, yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't think anybody does. You know, could a staking pool get hacked? Could the people in the staking pool run off with your stake? My suspicion is there must be some protections in the universe to prevent that. The goal of all things that are crypto-economically secure would be that I can't hurt you without hurting myself 10 times worse, and I can't help myself without helping you. That, when those conditions are met, something is considered crypto-economically secure. The staking pools theoretically are that way. You lose your stake if you are committing fraud, but if you scam people, I don't know how this is all going to play out, Tom. I really don't. And I think that these are the kinds of questions that time will teach us and experience will teach us. So yeah, I would, at the moment, staking is bringing you the equivalent of an interest rate and nothing more. It's not bringing you giant returns, and you're not getting coins back that are of tremendous value. For right now, all my ADA is staked, all of it, 100% of it. None of my ETH is staked because there's no place to stake it at the moment that I would be willing to do. So I leave my, again, not financial advice, I leave my crypto in hardware wallets unless I'm trading with it. I have a couple dollars in my MetaMask, got a couple bucks sitting at my Coinbase accounts, and a few dollars at a few other exchanges, but all of my crypto holdings are in hardware wallets. They are cold storage, offline, no way to get to. You have to hit me over the head with a wrench and hold a gun at my head to get my crypto wallets, seed phrases. And that's assuming you could find my crypto wallets, which, yeah, I can't. So it's 12:59. I hope this has been helpful. Again, please, if you are interested in anything, if you're doing something cool, you want to just tell me about it. I'd love to hear about what you're doing with cryptocurrency. This is such an exciting time. China, we hardly knew you. Sorry you're out of this. SEC, I hope you get it together. Janet Yellen, please be favorable when you decide what you're doing with your stable coins. And let's hope the IRS figures out, what they really want to do. That's what makes this super exciting. It really does. Every day it's just something else to do and something new to know. And I'm very excited about the crypto projects we're working on for so many great clients, and I hope that you're working on a great crypto project too. With that, I will wish you a great rest of the week and weekend, and we will see you next Wednesday here on Crypto Wednesday. For everybody here at the Palmer Group, I'm Shelly Palmer, and have a great day. Take care.